Thank you. Thank you. Hey. We heard you were out there waiting in line a long time, and we want to thank you so much. Hey, guess what? Guess what? November 6th, we take our country back. You know, it's really nice to be here with some familiar faces. My buddy Frank Wolf, I heard he talked to you earlier today. He's a gentleman in honor in Congress. It's great to have served with George Allen, and I hope you send him back to Congress and the Senate so we can serve with them again. And I'm a person who grew up with a lot of mentors in my life. And one of the most important mentors to me was a man named Jack Kemp. And his wife, Joanne, is here today. And Joanne Kemp, it's really nice to see you. And how about this awesome governor you guys have? Bob McDonnell, huh? Man. Let's just review things for a moment. Let's see where things stand. You think the economy's heading in the right direction? You think we're getting our debt and deficit under control? You think the country's on the right track? You know why? Because President Obama is our president, and he has put all of his policies in place, and they're just not working. Take a look at the results. We've had the worst recovery in 70 years. We have the largest deficit and the biggest government since World War II. 1 out of 6 Americans are in poverty today, the highest rate in a generation. Unemployment's been above 8% for 3 years. And the president's answer to this is more crony capitalism, more corporate welfare, more Solyndra, picking and whipping. We don't think the secret to economic growth is politicians in Washington and bureaucrats picking winners and losers in our economy. The secret to economic growth is letting people keep more of what they earn and helping small businesses grow and compete and achieve and create jobs. You see, the president has shown us his aspirations for a government-centered society with a government-run economy. It's not working. It's never worked before. And so President Obama is not going to be able to run for re-election on his record because it's a terrible record. And he didn't change tune. He didn't moderate. He stayed hard left. So what does he have left? Not only nothing, he's going to divide the country, to distract the country, to try and win this election by default. Hope and change has now become attack and blame. You know what? We're not going to fall for it. We're not going to fall for this kind of rhetoric that says to people that they're stuck in their station in life, victim of circumstances outside of their control, and only the government is here to help them cope with it. You know what? That's not who we are. That's not the American idea. That's not the American we know, and it's not the America we're going to have starting next year. Somewhere out there on that horizon is the dream you have for yourself and for your children. Above the discord and the delay and the distractions of the day, it's there. It's getting farther away because the president has given us policies that have put our nation on a path to debt, doubt, despair, and decline. Here's the good news. We don't have to put up with this. We can turn this thing around. We can get ourselves back on the right track. It's going to take leadership. It's going to mean that politicians have to think about the next generation instead of their next election. And it's going to take a person with experience in leadership. Mitt Romney, in all the things he has done in his life, he is the kind of person who is made for this moment. He's the kind of man with the integrity, the experience that we need. When he ran Bain, he created jobs. He turned around failing enterprises. He has first-hand experience that if you have built, started, or run a small business, you did that. You remember the Olympics, 1999? People forgot how ugly it got for a moment. It was bloated, wasteful, corrupted. Does that sound familiar? When his country needed him, Mitt Romney answered the call, and he saved the Olympics and made us proud. When he was governor of Massachusetts, unemployment went down, the credit rating went up, and household incomes increased. Under President Obama, unemployment's gone up, household incomes have gone down, and the first time in our nation's history, our credit was downgraded. The contrast could not be more clear, and the choice could not be more clear. Here is our commitment to you. You deserve to decide. You deserve to decide what kind of country we're going to have, what kind of people we are going to be. It is our obligation to give you, our fellow citizens, a choice of two futures. You're going to decide. Because if we do this right, and we reapply those principles that built this country, we honor you by letting you decide the choice and the course of this country. We will get our country back on November the 6th. This takes special leadership. This takes courage. This takes our country coming together. And you know what? When we do this, we're going to get this done, and we're going to do it because we have a man who is running for president who has the courage, the integrity, the honesty, the experience to put us back to work, to get us back on offense, to make us proud again, to reignite the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, the next President of the United States, Mitt Romney.
Thank you so much. Manassas, you are very kind to welcome us like this. This is a terrific welcome and a pretty clear indication that come November 6th, Virginia is going to vote for Romney Ryan. We're going to take back the White House. Now, today was a good day for me, I got to tell you. It was also a good day for America. We've taken the next step to restoring America's promise with Paul Ryan as our nominee for Vice President. This is a man who I think you know pretty well. If you said one word about Paul Ryan, it would probably be leader. This is a man who learned leadership young, because leadership is a function of character and courage. As a young man, a high schooler, his dad died, and he was forced to grow up quickly. He and his family came together and instilled in him were the kind of hard-working ethics that are associated with the Midwest of America. He carries those things in his heart. He's worked in Washington over the past 14 years, but you know what? In his heart is still Janesville, Wisconsin. Small-town America still defines a great man like Paul Ryan. He didn't go there with ambition to become something big. He went there with ambition to accomplish something big. And he's taken our party, and with his intellectual leadership has helped make sure that we focus on values, that we fight for things we believe in. Sometimes our party has gone astray over the past years. And Paul Ryan said, no, bring it home to the things we care about. Make sure we care for our seniors, we care for our kids, and we stop spending what we don't have. And you know, Washington is a place where a lot of people get by just throwing stones at one another. But he took a different approach. He tried to reach across the aisle with friends in our party and people on the other side of the aisle. He's one of those who realizes that honest people can have honest differences. And so he's worked with Democrats and Republicans to work on major pieces of legislation that help people. Right now, there's one that he's put out there. You see, the president has put a plan out on Medicare. He cuts Medicare $700 billion through his Obamacare plan. And what Paul Ryan and Senator Wyden have done is said, no, we need to restore and retain and protect Medicare. That's what our party will do. And this comes at a critical time. As you know, as Paul just said to you, this is a critical time for America. You know that. When you have a country as prosperous as ours, but 23 million people are out of work, or stopped looking for work, or underemployed, you know something's wrong. You know, when you have a nation that invented public education, and our kids are now getting an education that scores in the bottom third of the world, you know something's wrong. When you know a nation as prosperous as ours has put together $16 trillion of debt, passing on our burdens of our generation to the next generation, it's not just wrong, it's immoral for us to put on those obligations to our kids. Candidate Obama said that he was going to cut the cost for an average family of their health care premium by $2,500. Has your premium gone down? Anybody here seen their premiums go down? No, as a matter of fact, the average family has seen their premiums go up by $2,500. A $5,000 difference in a nation with a median income just about $50,000. Think what that means. Gasoline prices have doubled. These are critical times in this country. And so you have a choice. America's going to have a choice. I think I know what you guys are going to do, right? America's going to have a choice. They've seen the product of the Obama plan. It's been executed over the last 3.5 years. It hasn't worked. Middle-income families are getting squeezed. People can't find work. We have a very different plan. We don't want America to become Europe with high unemployment, no wage growth, economic calamity at the door. We want to restore the principles that made America the hope of the earth. And so we'll do this. We're going to do 5 things. 5 things that'll get this economy going again with more jobs and more take-home pay. These 5 things. 1, take advantage of our energy resources. Oil, coal, gas, nuclear, renewable. Get America energy independent. That's number 1. Number 2, we need to make sure that our people have the skills to succeed, not just those in the workforce today, but also our kids. We will make sure that our schools are focused on the needs of our kids and the parents and the teachers union is going to have to take a back seat. We want trade. That's number 3, trade that works for America. We want to open up new markets for our goods, particularly in Latin America. But when people cheat in trade like China's cheated, we're going to hold them accountable. That's it, and call them on the carpet. We're going to stop unfair trade. So number 1, energy. Number 2, skills. Number 3, trade. Number 4, we're going to finally do something politicians have talked about for years, and that is we're going to cut spending, cut the deficit, and finally get us on track to a balanced budget. And one more. We're going to champion small business. We're going to help small business. We want low taxes for small business and regulators that encourage small business. And by the way, there's a big cloud hanging over small business today. You go ask them what they're worried about. And one of the things they'll tell you is they're worried about the cost of health care because of Obamacare. We're going to get rid of Obamacare and replace it with something that works for the American people. The other day, here in Virginia, the president said something I just couldn't believe. I couldn't imagine he actually said it, you know, and I looked it up. He said, if you have a business, you didn't build that, someone else did that. I guess he thinks that government somehow should take responsibility for all the achievements of people in this country. I have a very different view. I believe America was founded on a principle of individuals pursuing happiness as they choose, achieving and reaching for accomplishment and excellence. So when a young person makes the honor roll, I know it took a school bus to get them to school, but I don't give the bus driver credit for the honor roll. And I know that if in your work you spend some extra time finding a way to do the things that other people perhaps can't do at that work site and you get a promotion, I know that to get to work you had to have a driver's license, but I don't give the person at the DMV the credit. I give the person who achieved that advance, the promotion, the credit. Now the president says that we're taking him out of context with that quote. Yeah, go back and take a look at the whole speech. If you want to get a full dose of what the president believes, you watch that whole speech. He says in there, if you're successful and you think it's because you're smart, why, lots of people are smart. And if you think it's because you're working hard, it's because well, there are a lot of people that are working hard. I wonder where he was going with this argument. You see, my own view is that we welcome and celebrate people who work hard to improve their skills and reach for achievement. This is the nature of America. America was founded on a principle that our rights did not come from government. Our rights came from the Creator. And among those rights were life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. In this country, we're free to pursue happiness as we choose. And people striving and achieving are what make America the powerhouse that it is. This is the nature of America. The president's changing into something which is government-dominated, government-centric. It will not work in America. It will not work anywhere. What works here, what works around the world, is free people pursuing their dreams. We want those dreamers here. We can accomplish our dreams. And so looking at that kind of record that the president has, and contrasting it with our vision of optimism, bringing back a dynamic and powerful economy with more jobs and more take-home pay, the president, understandably, has resorted to a very unusual campaign. And that is, in some respects, I think he disrespects the office by taking the campaign down to the very lowest point I can recall in my lifetime. We're going to have a very different view. The next Vice President of the United States and I are going to lay out a vision for America of hope and opportunity and progress and achievement and individual accomplishment. We're going to stand for America, and we're going to win. I love this country. I love America. I know you love America. That's what brings you here. This is not about me. It's not about him. This is about America, the country we love. It's in trouble. It needs our help. We're going to take it back and make sure America remains the hope of the earth. Thank you so much.